Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with the next review of the Terror in the Aisles challenge. This time, Jason and I watched The Fog. There's Something in the Fog. The Fog is a 1980 horror film directed by John Carpenter. He also co-wrote the film with Deborah Hill. Scenes from the movie are featured in Terror in the Aisles. Recently, Jason and I watched and reviewed The Thing for the Terror in the Aisles challenge. In that review, I mentioned The Thing was in my top 3 favorite Carpenter films, probably number 3. I also mentioned that the other 2 in my top 3 would be coming up soon in the challenge. Well, The Fog is one of them. After re-watching it now, I can confidently say The Fog is my number 2 favorite John Carpenter movie. Sorry, The Thing, but you're still at number 3. For me, The Fog is almost the perfect horror film. I love absolutely everything about it, and I really don't have any cons whatsoever for it. I love the storyline, which I'll get to in a second. I love the cast. You'll see a lot of familiar faces from other Carpenter films and other horror films in general. Jamie Lee Curtis, her mother, Janet Leigh, Tom Atkins, without a mustache this time, Adrienne Barbeau, Hal Holbrook, Charles Cyphers, Nancy Loomis. Even John Carpenter himself has a small uncredited role. I love the setting of The Fog. It's called Antonio Bay in the movie, but it was actually filmed on location in Bodega Bay. I love the kills, and I absolutely love the score. It's one of my all-time favorite horror movie scores. Speaking of that, and I mentioned this to Jason while we were watching it, I think one thing I love so much about Carpenter films is his utilization of scores. There are plenty of good horror scores out there, but John Carpenter uses his well. They're neither under nor overutilized. Okay, and now on to the storyline, the synopsis. In case you haven't seen The Fog, the movie is set on the 100th anniversary of a town called Antonio Bay. It's a seaside town where Adrienne Barbeau plays Stevie Wayne, a radio DJ. Her station is located inside of a lighthouse down some very long, narrow stairs. It's a great location. Stevie Wayne is a single mom, and her male listeners are definitely interested in her. I have to say, I get that, because in my opinion, this might be the sexiest Adrienne Barbeau ever looked. And that includes the bathing scene in Swamp Thing. Jamie Lee Curtis plays a hitchhiker who gets picked up by Tom Atkins. His name in The Fog, by the way, is Nick Castle. Hal Holbrook plays Father Malone, and Janet Leigh plays Kathy Williams. Kathy is in charge of hosting the 100th anniversary celebration in town. The thing is, though, there is far more to that anniversary. Exactly 100 years ago to the day, a ship crashed into the shore, and the crew members drowned. It all happened during a dense fog, which also happens to have reappeared for this 100th anniversary. The fog, oddly though, isn't following the direction of the wind. A conversation between Charles Cyphers, who plays the weatherman, and Stevie Wayne confirms this. It's not just the fog that has returned either. There is something in the fog. People in Antonio Bay are being killed off one by the ghosts of pirates. At a closer glance, though, they actually look like worm-infested zombies of pirates. Their weapons of choice are swords, hooks, and knives. The Fog, my friends, is not just a ghost story, which some might believe. This is a seaside, supernatural slasher film. It's not even somewhat of a slasher film. It's about 50-50. This is a ghost film and a slasher. I think that's what I always loved about it, along with everything else I mentioned earlier. Not only is The Fog one of my favorite John Carpenter films, my second to be precise, but it's also one of my all-time favorite horror movies overall. As a matter of fact, it was one of my top 2 for Tuesday Top Tuesday, back when we did 1980 week. This is one of those movies I can watch over and over again and never get tired of it. It really is, in my opinion, just about a perfect horror film. And my relatable recommendation is another Carpenter film I really enjoy. Not as much as The Fog, but I still really like it. Prince of Darkness. Prince of Darkness is a 1987 horror film directed by John Carpenter, and it stars Donald Pleasence. It also features one of the creepiest, most unsettling communication scenes in horror cinema. It's always stuck with me, and it's a big reason why I'm such a big fan of Prince of Darkness. Did I mention how much I love The Fog, though? What do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. And please be sure to check out Jason's review. There is something in the works, and it's another review for the Terror in the Aisles challenge, coming soon. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.